Next thing you know, the alarms go off and everybody's, panicking, trying to, figure out what is it.
A gunman sparks terror at UT Health East Texas, triggering lockdowns as police hunt for the suspect who fled. The details straight ahead. Plus, the latest on the ding-dong ditch prank turned deadly in Houston. An 11-year-old shot a suspect charged and shocking finds at his home. And later on, you'll meet Chester, an 8-year-old toucan whose chaotic antics went viral. See the trouble that he caused and his inspiring rescue coming up.
And we're expecting some rain to eventually move out for your day today. Should be in pretty good shape. We'll take a look at the full forecast details in your full forecast coming up. So stay right there because Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus starts right now.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Our top story this morning, a frightening scene in Tyler yesterday as UT Health Tyler Hospital and Olympic Center Plaza went on lockdown, that is, after a man in green scrubs allegedly flashed a gun on the 8th floor, triggering an active shooter alarm. Now, police and multiple agencies swept those buildings, lifting the lockdown by 1 p.m. with no injuries. The suspect, we're told, remains at large, and it's unclear if he's a hospital employee or someone else. We'll have details in just a few minutes. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez is on assignment. Thank you so much for joining us here on CBS 19 Plus. Well, it could be a wet start to the day. We want to get over to Joel now, who's tracking some storms out there on this Wednesday morning.
That's right. Yeah, those storms that we're tracking now are beginning to weaken, which is some good news. It's starting to move into some less favorable conditions out there. So we are expecting those storms to continue to weaken into the rest of this morning. We got another round of storms, I should say another cell moving into Jacksonville. So Jacksonville are getting in on some rain, and another round is going to be moving in, and those other showers are continuing to move off to the east and are starting to weaken. Here's a little bit of a closer look. We got some lightning out there, so definitely make sure to move indoors. It is going to be a little bit dangerous in that direction. Live look in Tyler, you can see some cumulonimbus towers out there for sure. Definitely some rain you can see out there onto our south. Temperatures right now in the upper 60s to low 70s across the area. We'll make it up to about 89 degrees with decreasing cloud cover. And of course, those rain chances will continue to decrease into the rest of the day for today and into the next 3 days. We'll see some mostly sunny skies for your Thursday with high temperatures near 94, 93 for Friday with mostly cloudy skies, mostly cloudy into your day on Saturday with some slight rain chances down to the middle 80s. And then we're watching a cold front to continue to move in and bring in some decent rainfall on Sunday. We'll take a look at what that looks like in your complete forecast coming up.
All right, thank you, Joel. Well, the search continues this morning for a man who police say prompted a lockdown at 2 Tyler hospitals and an active shooter alarm at UT Health East Texas. Police say the suspect, described as a black man in his 20s or 30s with facial hair and wearing green scrubs, pulled a gun during an argument in a stairwell at Olympic Plaza. We're told he managed to get away. Police don't know if he was a patient or an employee. Witnesses tell us it was a frightening and terrifying time for patients and staff. CBS 19's Robert De La Garza was at UT Health in Tyler and has more information from Tyler police and patients who were in the building at the time.
Just after 11 Tuesday morning, police were called to an active shooter at UT Health East Texas. Tyler police say there was an argument between 2 people inside a stairway of the Olympic Plaza building.
During that disturbance, one of the suspects pulled out a pistol, and then they walked up into the 8th floor. That caused the employee that was on the 8th floor to hit the alarm.
Multiple law enforcement agencies responded within minutes of the call.
We have evidence at that point in time that after the alarm went off, the suspect then made his way over to where we are on the 2nd floor and either got on foot or went into the parking garage and got a car.
Police began clearing all floors of the Olympic Plaza and secured the area. Inside, multiple people told police they saw a suspect on the 8th floor with a gun. Asanet Gomez was inside the hospital.
Next thing you know, the alarms go off and everybody's, panicking, trying to, figure out what is it.
Charles Polk had a routine appointment on the 8th floor when chaos broke out.
Man, I'll say about 5 minutes after bunch of cops came in. They told us that we needed to get into a secure place. Everybody was just tense. I mean, you could tell everybody had a little fear in them.
They all did good. They did their part and tried to keep us calm and took all the measurements, to keep us safe and where secure, we were at and secure, yeah.
Both witnesses praised the swift action of the UT Health staff and first responders, grateful that despite the fear and confusion, everyone made it out safely. Robert De La Garza, CBS 19.
Tyler police tell us that residents should feel safe because they believe this is an isolated incident. If you have any information on who the suspect may be, contact Tyler police. The trial for Scotty Goebel resumes this morning. Yesterday, jurors heard from Eddie Ramirez's mother and brother. Blanca Ramirez told jurors that Goebel often caused problems at the restaurant, but employees still served him. She said she saw part of the altercation, though in her eyes, it was defense, not a fight. Eddie's brother Edgar testified that Goebel raised his fist while holding a baby carrier, saying, "Come on," as if he wanted to fight. He said Goebel then set the baby outside before punches were thrown. Edgar told jurors that he grabbed Goebel by the shirt and tossed him like a rag doll across the parking lot. During a police interview, Goebel initially said the Ramirezes were trying to take his baby during the fight, but he later admitted that he set the baby down in her car seat. A retired Tyler detective also testified that Goebel exaggerated his story, calling it inconsistent and hyperbolized. Just a couple weeks after the state health department said there were no more measles cases in Texas, Net Health has confirmed that there is now a case in East Texas, and this one in Rains County. The patient self-isolated at their home and has since recovered. Net Health also says that this case was travel-related. Symptoms of measles include a high fever, coughing, and a runny nose, and white spots inside the mouth.
Roughly 15 to 20% of the people who contracted measles during this epidemic in West Texas were hospitalized. So it's a high rate of hospitalization. So get immunized, know the signs and symptoms, and just be prepared to deal with this.
If you do have these symptoms or have been around anyone with measles, you're asked to get in touch with your doctor. An East Texas man is in jail accused of assaulting a woman and pointing a rifle at law enforcement. Stephen Allen Kasperzak of Livingston faces 8 counts of aggravated assault against a public servant and 1 count of aggravated assault involving a family member. Deputies say they found a woman with visible injuries and later tracked him down to his home. Now, when they got there, he reportedly came out of his garage with an assault rifle and then pointed it at officers. After a brief standoff, he was taken into custody without anyone getting hurt. This investigation is ongoing. A bond hearing is set for today for a Houston man now charged with murder. Police say he shot and killed an 11-year-old during a ding-dong ditch prank. 42-year-old Gonzalo Leon Jr. is accused of killing Julian Guzman after the boy rang his doorbell and then ran away with his cousin. Investigators say he waited in the dark and followed the children before opening fire. Police say Leon, an Army veteran, had more than 20 guns and smoke grenades in his home. He was later found at a hotel outside of Houston with his car packed.
The person that we have in custody and arrested for murder was waiting in the backyard watching in the shadows. After they knocked, they just ran way down the street. Almost a block away, they look back and they see they're being followed by an unknown man.
Investigators say Leon had a history of making threats but was never charged until now. The victim's family says they are now focused on getting justice for their son. President Trump announced a U.S. military strike in the Caribbean killed 11 narco-terrorists on a boat carrying drugs from Venezuela to the U.S. The operation comes as the Navy ramps up its presence in the region. Video posted by President Trump on Truth Social shows a U.S. military strike that took out a boat in international waters. The administration says it was operated by the Tren de Aragua gang, a designated terrorist organization, and loaded with illegal drugs bound for the United States.
As long as those vessels are in the region and as long as the president's in the White House, he's made very clear he's not going to allow the United States to continue to be flooded with cocaine and fentanyl.
The strike follows the administration's recent move to double the bounty to $50 million for the arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, accused of drug trafficking ties, claims he denies. 7:11, time for your morning headlines. In just a matter of hours, survivors of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein are set to speak on Capitol Hill, demanding all files from the investigation be released. Now, this comes after the House Oversight Committee released additional files yesterday. They say it's part of a push for more transparency in the sex trafficking investigation. But lawmakers claim much of the 33,000 pages of files released are nothing new and had already been made public. President Trump says he intends to send federal troops to Chicago. The president did not specify a date for the deployment, but said he had an obligation to address the Windy City's violent crimes. The president also says that he is looking to send federal troops to Baltimore. And a federal judge ruled that Google will not have to sell off Chrome or Android. The decision is a big win for the company accused of operating an illegal online search monopoly. Though Google won't have to sell Chrome or Android, it will be banned from exclusive deals for distributing services like Chrome, Search, Google Assistant, and its Gemini app. And this is an easy question. Who wants to be a millionaire, Joel?
Good to me.
The Powerball jackpot is up to an estimated $1.3 billion for tonight's drawing. It is the 5th largest jackpot in the game's history, with a cash value of almost $600 million. If you've never played before, and it seems like a lot of people are, Powerball tickets cost $2. All right, we're going to take just a little break from news to talk about our question of the day. Here it is for you. Do you prefer sweet or unsweetened tea? In the South, I feel like the answer is going to be mostly sweet, but I want to hear from you guys.
Okay, for me, I'm watching the cows a little bit, watching them calories a little bit.
So
I'm an unsweet guy putting in the no calorie, zero sugar sweetener. That's me.
That's you.
But if I'm regular, I'm just chilling day and night, I'm having a nice little summer, I'm going with the sweet tea.
Going with the sweet tea.
Yeah, I'm not much of a tea drinker, but I do like Arnold Palmer.
Oh yeah, with a little lemonade.
With a little bit of lemonade. I really do enjoy that a lot.
As a child, I definitely was all about the sweet tea, especially like at Thanksgiving. It just reminds me of the holiday. But now I'm probably more like you. Yeah. I do the regular tea with a little bit of like Splenda or something.
Yeah, and for those of you at home, you know what I mean? You got to do it because it's a cheat code for the calories. You know what I mean? It's essentially, like a 5-calorie drink then, but if you get the regular sugar, it's like 300, and then I got to get seconds, And
I love that you know all the calories.
Hey, I do my thing,
He's done his homework.
I'm doing my homework just a little bit. I was telling you about I was fasting earlier,
Yeah.
Intermittent fasting?
Well, right now I'm on I last ate at 5 p.m. on Monday, so what is this?
I got so hungry for you just now.
But I'm doing my thing. What are the people saying
now? People are, Viola says, I prefer sweet, but can drink it either way. I'm kind of the same way, Viola. Ginger says, sweet tea with lemon, please. I do like a lemon in my tea.
There you go.
And then Linda Hudson says, unsweetened tea, and Teresa says, sweet. It's a little bit of both, so I guess we prefer it both ways.
Yeah, a little bit more on the unsweet side than I was expecting. Because I thought people would be saying, "Oh, it's sweet all day." My dad at home, I'm sure he's watching right now. He loves sweet tea.
In
the South, it's all about sweet and iced sweet tea.
Oh, there's nothing like it. Some of these fast food places have some great sweet tea too.
It is good.
For sure.
All right, stay with us. We're going to look at our weather now as you get ready to head out. How much longer for those showers here in East Texas?
Not too much longer. I think within the next couple of hours we'll start to see them fade away. But let's take a look at your I-20 report for this morning. Should be in pretty good shape if you head to Dallas or Shreveport. It's going to be about a 2-hour commute to get to Dallas and about an hour and 30 minutes to get to Shreveport. Also in very good shape, US 69. We are tracking another cell moving across Jacksonville. So if you are in that area, definitely expect some heavy rainfall and some limited visibilities in that direction. Could be a little bit of a slowdown. Otherwise, should be in pretty good shape. Numbers are pretty much the same now. CBS19 Live Red are showing those showers starting to kind of fall apart. We are looking at another cell moving across Jacksonville with some heavy rainfall. Nothing severe, but definitely some heavy rainfall in that cell. Now, future Skycast does show that those showers will continue to move to the east, fizzle out. We're going to be done with them for the rest of the day. We'll have a mix of clouds and sun for the rest of your Wednesday and into Thursday. It's going to be a very nice, quiet forecast going forward. So your commute forecast giving you a yellow light for those heavy downpours around 7, should be out of here by 8 and 9, and then green lights all the way through this afternoon. Again, expecting a mix of clouds and sun, nice and dry conditions, and temperatures in the upper 80s.
Thank you, Joel, for that update. Well, how did you sleep last night? If the answer is not so great, you are not alone. I don't know if that helps this morning, but there is a new study about what keeps people up at night. Hear from a doctor about how not to lose sleep over our everyday anxieties. And coming up in sports, we took a quick trip to Tyler Legacy to check in on those Red Raiders ahead of the 67th annual Rose City rivalry. Their preparation is straight ahead here on Morning Y'all.
It's time for CBS19 Sports.
Welcome back, East Texas. I'm Damian Bartonic, and you know what time it is. Time to talk all things sports. We're just 2 sleeps away from the 67th annual Rose City rivalry right here in Tyler, and the Tyler Legacy Red Raiders are coming into their big-time showdown with a lot of confidence, despite their loss in Week 1. Now, these guys are operating as one unit. They are intense, and they're coming to make a statement on Friday night.
Go. Like that. He's so good. Good hand.
The vibes were immaculate yesterday at practice. The Red Raiders got after it. Look at my guys dancing to NBA Youngboy right here. And look at this hit during the 11 portions of practice. That's just a big old hit right there. I love it. Now that's the intensity that the Rose City rivalry brings. And this week the fellas know the task at hand, especially their 2 stars on offense. You've got sophomore and first-year starter Kason Gray Jr. under center and TK Brown as the X. Now this duo connected on 6 throws for 130 yards and a tub last week. So I had to ask these guys, just how do they hit the ground running after a phenomenal Week 1 showing?
It really started all during the spring. During the spring, that's when everything started, whatever. During the season, during the game, coach said, do this, do that. And D-Ray telling me how he gonna throw it, how he gonna do this. So that's how we was able to, get connected, start the game off good or whatever.
Coming together, we haven't been here long, but we've been having a good connection, quick connection too, connect on the field.
TK just has some aura to him, all right? He has that aura, and after asking the guys at Tyler High what they think the morning headline will read after Friday night's game, the Red Raiders feel they'll come out on top and make a statement with a W on their record.
They're gonna see a new narrative around Tyler Legacy. It's gonna be a big one for us.
Last year, we didn't get what we wanted, but this year though, we gonna come harder. We gonna show them what we can do, what we're capable of.
These guys just got me fired up for Friday night, man. Kickoff for the battle between the Lions and the Red Raiders is slated for 7 o'clock. If you can't make it there, tune in at 6:30 for the Under the Lights pregame show, as well as the full recap on Under the Lights on CBS19, and of course right here on CBS19 Plus at 10 and 10:30. See you there. On to the NFL now. You see my guy right here, CJ Stroud. I love this guy, just an absolute baller. And we're going to specifically talk about them Houston Texans. My guy, CBS19's Robert De La Garza, he's hoping for an H-Town win on Sunday afternoon, like some of you at home. But from the team's perspective, this game comes down to one major key. That's the trenches, and more specifically, the offensive line. Now, that young man you're going to see on your screen right here, that's Tay Ursery, a rookie offensive tackle that will be making his first start after the Texans shuffled the deck this offseason. They traded All-Pro Laramie Tunsil to the Commanders, and they drafted Tay in the 2nd round. Now, on paper, he'll be dealing with Jared Verse and Braden Fisk of the Rams. That's going to be one heck of a battle there, and the young man says he just can't wait to establish a standard going forward.
Just my style of play, physical. Like I just want the guys I know across the league, like when they play me, that he gonna bring his lunch, so we got to bring our lunch money.
Now this guy stands like 6'6", 6'7", 330 pounds, just an absolute mammoth of a man. The Texans take on the Rams right here on CBS 19. Kickoff is scheduled for 3:25 p.m., so get them wings ready because it's going to be a good one. Now on to the Longhorns, a team that defensively, they just looked fantastic against the now #1 team in the nation, but offensively it was a little rough, and they're now licking their wounds as they prep for another early morning kick over the weekend. For Coach Sark and company, they didn't expect their offense to fall flat like it did, and after going over the tape, some major issues popped up that we discussed earlier in the week, like missing the gimme throws that are schemed up in the passing game and just failing to be efficient with the football. Now this week, the Horns come into Saturday morning as, get this man, 36-point favorites. And instead of an orange juice to look forward to with this breakfast time kickoff, they got a nice little brunch menu of things they're looking to improve upon.
There was a couple times where we had some crossing routes where I didn't feel like he brought his feet to where he wanted to throw the ball, which in turn forced kind of a little bit more of a sidearm delivery, which isn't his style of throwing.
Yeah, you're always trying to, get better each week, go back to square one, fundamentals. Obviously, got to hit Ryan late in the game.
Definitely a lesson learned on that stuff.
Now this will be the 2nd time the Horns have faced off with the Spartans. Their initial matchup was back in 2017 and ended with a whopping huge dub, 56-0 for the Longhorns. Well, that's all the time I have for you in sports this morning, but don't worry, we still got plenty of news and weather for you, so keep it here. Morning, y'all.
All right, thank you, Damian. Well, we have to take a quick break to do our on-air cut-ins for CBS Mornings. And while it may be news that you've already seen if you've been following us here on CBS 19 Plus, these cut-ins are for our viewers watching on traditional TV. We'll be right back, so just stick with us. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for joining us for this morning news update. An East Texas community is mourning after a heartbreaking shooting at a Liberty City park left a father and his teenage daughter dead. Authorities say 46-year-old Sean Glenn Blake and his 17-year-old daughter Haley Blake were both shot and killed Monday afternoon. Haley was a student at Sabine ISD. The suspect, Christopher Hicks Jr., Haley's boyfriend, is believed to have turned the gun on himself after the attack. He remains in critical condition.
This is not a school-related incident. We do believe this to be an isolated, targeted attack that just so happened to occur at that park.
And investigators are urging anyone with information to come forward and contact the Gregg County Sheriff's Office. And as that investigation continues into the tragic murders of Haley and her father, loved ones are finding strength in one another. Those who knew the two gathered at the same park where they were killed, leaning on each other in prayer, remembrance, and grief. Many shared memories and messages of hope and healing.
Whenever you're in a small community, that you feel the loss that much more, but I think that you also can feel can be comforted that much more by the people across the table from us.
I know that she would want everybody here to be strong and not be so down, but enjoy the moments that we had with her.
Crosses now sit in the park as a tribute to Haley and Sean. Well, just a couple weeks after the state health department said there were no more measles cases in Texas, Net Health has confirmed that there's a case in East Texas. This one in Rains County. The patient self-isolated at their home and has since recovered. Net Health also says this case was travel related. Symptoms of measles include a high fever, coughing, a runny nose, and white spots inside the mouth. Let's get a check of your forecast now. Joel?
Well, we are expecting those rain showers to begin to fizzle out as we continue into the rest of this morning. Should be pretty rain-free into this afternoon. Looking at our next few hours, we're going to continue to build those temperatures into the low to mid 80s. Should be about 86 degrees by the time we get to 2 o'clock, and those clouds will also be decreasing in coverage. Now, as we look at our future temperatures into this afternoon, I think we'll peak somewhere in the upper 80s, maybe even some low 90s across deep East Texas, then falling back down into the middle to upper 60s, so definitely a little bit below average there. Then we make a run for the middle 90s as we move into Thursday afternoon with plenty of sunshine overhead. We move into Friday morning. We got temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s once again, and then we make a break for the 90s once again. Now, the next thing that we're watching for, this is really something we'll have to pay attention to, is Sunday. We've got a weather impact alert in place for that. We do have a chance for some decent rainfall on Sunday. That's why we have a weather impact alert in place for that. But in the meantime, 89 for today, up to 94 for your day on Thursday with mostly sunny skies. A cold front moves in, increasing our cloud cover. We got 93 for Friday, down to 86 for Saturday, and then there comes the rain for Sunday with highs near 78. Some of that will be moving in on Monday as well, and then drying out by Tuesday.
Welcome back to Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. This is what's coming up in our second half hour. A community is mourning a father and daughter killed in Liberty City, finding strength in prayer and memories at the park where they died. And UK builders transform a home for a teen with special needs, honoring his late father's dream. These stories and more just ahead, coming up.
Otherwise, we're watching some scattered showers and thunderstorms moving through East Texas. We got a weakening cell just moving out of Jacksonville at this time. We will continue to see those showers and thunderstorms begin to weaken into the rest of today. For today, we'll see up to about 89 degrees. For tomorrow and Friday, we'll see highs in the middle 90s before dropping into the middle 80s by your Saturday and Sunday with some decent rainfall in the forecast. We'll go over all that in detail in your forecast coming up on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Together, we're putting East Texas first. You're watching Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus.
Good Wednesday morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Jesus Martinez is on assignment. You'll see him this evening. Thanks so much for joining us on CBS 19 Plus. Well, we are learning more about a shooting that left a father and his teenage daughter dead at a Liberty City park. She was a student at Sabine ISD, and investigators say the daughter's boyfriend targeted the two. CBS 19's Ayana Aird joins us with what we know so far.
Why did somebody do that to him? He was a sweet person. He never hurt anybody. His daughter was the sweetest 17-year-old girl.
Shock and disbelief. That's how Vanessa Boatman is feeling after her friend Sean Glenn Blake and his daughter Haley Blake were killed Monday afternoon.
The other gentleman, which we believe to be the shooter at this time, was transported to a local hospital where he went with life-saving surgery and is still in critical condition.
Chief Deputy Craig Harrington says this was not a random act of violence.
This is not a school-related incident. We do believe this to be an isolated, targeted attack that just so happened to occur at that park.
The suspect, Christopher Hicks Jr., is believed to be Haley's boyfriend. Police say he shot and killed the two before turning the gun on himself. The motive remains unknown, but the community is still in disbelief.
I was really heartbroken.
But there's one thing Vanessa says Sean's life was defined by one thing above all.
He loved his daughter more than anything in life. I can see the love he had for her. It was incredible.
Chief Deputy Harrington says patrols will be stepped up in the area.
The biggest thing that we're trying to put out is we do believe that there are potential other witnesses, family members, anybody that knows any backstory as to what caused this. Please contact the Gregg County Sheriff's Office.
In Gregg County, I'm Ayana Aird, CBS 19.
And as their investigation continues into the tragic murders of Haley and her father, loved ones are finding strength in each other. Those who knew the two gathered at the same park where they were killed, leaning on one another in prayer, remembrance, and grief. Many shared memories and then messages of hope and healing.
Whenever you're in a small community, that you feel the loss that much more, but I think that you also can feel, can be comforted that much more by the people across the table from you.
I know that she would want everybody here to be strong and not be so down, but enjoy the moments that we had with her.
Crosses now sit in the park as a tribute to Haley and Sean, and loved ones say while the loss is still fresh, they are finding comfort in each other and then holding on to their memories. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is urging public schools across Texas to start setting aside time for reading the Bible and for prayer, specifically the Lord's Prayer. This comes now that Senate Bill 11 is in effect, which allows school districts to adopt policies for Bible study and prayer during school. It is up to the individual school districts on whether to do this, but they're required to take a vote on the matter within 6 months. If a district votes to add prayer time, Paxton says students would need parental consent to take part. As lawmakers reconvene in Austin for that final stretch of the second legislative session, there are dozens of topics that still need to be addressed, and that includes a THC ban and property taxes. While lawmakers voted to increase the homestead exemption during the regular session, Governor Abbott is pressing them for more. The session ends a week from Saturday on September the 13th. And in the latest update in SFA's Title IX lawsuit battle, after a recent appeal to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, the university will not have to immediately reinstate sports teams like beach volleyball, women's bowling, and women's golf, which have been at the center of the lawsuit. In a statement released yesterday, SFA said that they have hired coaches for women's golf and beach volleyball, but the head bowling coach position is still vacant. Because of that, the university cannot field a bowling team at this time. Well, with the start of high school football season comes a whole bunch of traditions that we love, and one of those goes beyond the field. Tyler High and Tyler Legacy are teaming up once again to benefit the East Texas Food Bank. This is the district's 35th year helping fight hunger. Schools are once again collecting food and donations to support the Backpack program, which provides weekend meals to nearly 9,000 kids across East Texas. Since the event began in 1991, students have helped provide more than 1.9 million meals. Last year alone, they raised enough for over 117,000 meals. The final tally will be announced at halftime of the Rose City rivalry game this Friday at Rose Stadium. And now to a remarkable story of generosity from across the pond, with strangers stepping in to help a family facing unimaginable heartbreak. CBS's Tina Kraus has the story.
These builders are teaming up to transform a home in England, not for a paycheck, but a purpose. Volunteering their time, tools, and talent to a family in need of a fresh start.
Everybody wanted to help each other and just do a great job for little Toby.
Toby Fletcher is 16 with quadriplegic cerebral palsy, dystonia, and he's deaf. His mom, Sarah, had to carry him up and down the stairs each day until the band of builders stepped in to take a load off the mother of 6. 150 tradesmen and women from across the UK spent 12 days turning the Fletcher home into a safer, more comfortable space.
They will have a much better life with the way the property is now. Much better life.
This is Toby's new ground floor bedroom, a superhero-themed sanctuary just for him.
This is amazing. It's better than I could have imagined. Just lifting him on to his bed is a big difference from carrying him from downstairs to upstairs.
It's more than a renovation. It fulfills the dream of Toby's dad, Sean, an electrician who wanted to make life easier for his son.
Toby would always smile. He'd always have a smile for his dad. Yeah. You saw a lot of your dad, didn't you?
Sarah says her husband loved his family and kept his mental health struggles hidden from them. He died by suicide on Christmas Eve.
It's a little bit bittersweet, so it's amazing that the house has been done, but it's also sad that Sean isn't here to see it.
For workers, many who knew Sean, this wasn't just a project, it was personal.
It's a hard thing to understand if you've never done it.
A band of builders showing when a family falls, a community can help lift them back up. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Nothing like people coming together. Well, let's take a break and talk a little trending stories out there this morning and videos this Wednesday morning. An astronaut captured a rare light show from space. Stop what you're doing and take a look at this. Usually the northern lights have a little more of a greenish hue, but this one that the NASA astronaut captured, pretty amazing. Crimson-lined aurora orbiting Earth. Red auroras like this one only happened 2 or 3 times during a 6-month mission to the International Space Station. Back here on Earth, the northern lights were seen across several states, not here in Texas that I saw, and parts of Canada. I mean, it's breathtaking, right?
Yeah,
it's amazing.
A little scary for me personally.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean that's a lot of. I mean, there's so much we don't know. I mean, then my brain just starts going everywhere. Like, if that's happening in space, what else could there be? Could there be aliens? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my takeaway though.
It's absolutely gorgeous. I remember when I was like 12 or 13, I was in this astronomy phase. I would always get so excited about space and always get excited when the International Space Station would fly over. I'd go be like, oh, there it is.
You go watch it?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever, you lived, closer up there. Did you ever see the northern lights, like up close and personal?
I never did. I was a little bit too far south. I lived in southern Michigan. In northern Michigan, you could definitely see it with the little light pollution that's up there. Of course, it's closer to the north.
I'm going to see them one day. I have to.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
That's insane.
All right, this next story is for all of our folks out there trying to hit their protein goals. Damien. Starbucks is introducing protein to some of its drink offerings in the form of protein lattes and protein cold foam. The items will be available beginning September 29th, so you got to wait just a little bit. The chain will offer protein cold foam alongside those lattes. They've got boosted milk delivering approximately 15 to 36 grams of protein per 16-ounce beverage. Pretty good. Starbucks protein cold foam will come in a variety of flavors. Here's a rundown for you. New banana flavor, okay. Vanilla, sugar-free vanilla, chocolate, matcha, salted caramel. That sounds good. And brown sugar, as well as plain protein cold foam. Seasonal flavors will include pumpkin and pecan. Do you think you'd try those?
That sounds pretty good.
36 grams of protein per a 16-ounce beverage is crazy. No, that is very, very good. Now there's one thing you have to watch out for, though. What are them calories looking like?
Sugar and the calories.
Because you could have 36 grams of protein, but if it's a 400-calorie drink, that's not a good source of protein.
I make a regular coffee and a protein coffee every morning with like a cold brew, and then the like Fairlife brand that has protein.
Yeah, no,
it's kind of low in sugar, not too high in sugar.
Hey, and y'all saw they said sugar-free vanilla. That's for me.
There you go.
That's for me right there.
That's the one he's gonna try. I'm gonna try it, but I
it.
want the salted caramel.
I will do the chocolate. I love chocolate so much. So
I'm trying to up my protein too. It's hard.
Yeah, and especially when you want to find lean sources of protein too. Because I mean, I could go get some fried chicken right now. I love me some fried chicken. That's about 40 grams of protein.
No,
but about 50 grams of fat. You know
I
what
had
I mean?
avocado and turkey last night.
Yeah.
Good protein.
Yeah, you're doing your thing, man.
All right. Well, there is a sweet surprise in Virginia this week. A peach orchard has grown a record-breaking peach that is making national headlines. Check it out. Talk about a peachy record. Child's Peach Orchard, I don't know if I said that right, just picked a massive 1.83 pound peach. Look at that. It's like the size of a pumpkin. It's topping the Guinness World Records. Grower Henry Childs says that tricky weather unexpectedly helped grow this giant peach. Not James and the giant peach, though. First in the orchard's 100-year history. It is a sweet win for the whole community, but this prize peach won't last long. Henry's family plans to enjoy it within the week because you want it to be nice and ripe and sweet and juicy.
Yeah, that was my question. Is it still juicy? Is it still like good to eat? Because when it's something that large, I would imagine that it'd be pretty hard to maintain that.
We want to hear from Henry on if it was good or not. I love my peaches. I had peaches yesterday. When they're sweet, there is nothing better.
Oh yeah, in elementary school we had the little black small containers of peaches like during our lunch. And man, those are top tier, man. There's nothing like those peaches at during school.
Oh,
so
man.
good.
Yeah, we need a food review from Henry over there.
We do.
For sure.
Well, now we got to get to our weather. It's a little messy out there this morning, but we have some blue skies to look forward to later.
We sure do. Things are looking to improve as we head into the later half of this morning and into this afternoon. Let's get an update on our CBS19 live radar. Those showers that we've been watching this morning are beginning to fizzle out. You see this line right here? This is called an outflow boundary. It basically means that there's cold air rushing out, basically falling from the thunderstorm and rushing out. And so it basically cools the air ahead of it. And so basically the thunderstorm can't live anymore. So that's kind of why we're seeing all these showers and thunderstorms start to fizzle out. It's moving into less favorable environment, and we are going to continue to see those showers and thunderstorms weaken into the rest of this morning. We got a cold front draped right across East Texas. That's kind of the big picture here. We are expecting some drier conditions and alongside some slightly cooler temperatures. Not all that cooler. I think we'll be maybe about a couple of degrees cooler than yesterday. So that'll mean maybe upper 80s to low 90s for us as we head into this afternoon. The next few hours feature rain-free conditions. We got a mix of clouds and sun, high temperatures in the middle to upper 80s. We'll make it to about 89 degrees today with partly cloudy skies, mostly sunny for your day on Thursday, up to 94 as we move into Thursday afternoon, 93 for Friday with mostly cloudy skies, and then a cold front moves in, dropping our temperatures down into the middle 80s for Saturday, upper 70s for Sunday. Weather impact alert in place for some excessive rainfall. That's the next thing that we have to keep an eye on.
All right, thank you, Joel. You had me at cold front. Well, still ahead this morning, prostate cancer rates are climbing fast in the U.S. We've got the latest stats and what you need to know coming up next. All right, in this morning's Wellness Wednesday at 7:47, prostate cancer rates are on the rise here in the U.S. A report by the American Cancer Society found that rates have been increasing 3% per year between 2014 and 2021 after years of decline. Now, the statistics also show mortality rates for Black men are twice as high compared to white men. Prostate cancer is one of the most common cancers among men. Well, did you toss and turn all last night wishing that you could get a full night's sleep? Well, it turns out a lot of us are dealing with sleepless nights. A new survey looks at what people are worrying about while they struggle to stay asleep. CBS News national reporter Karen Waugh has tips from a specialist on how to get a good night's rest.
Diana Garcia gets about 5 hours of sleep a night. With 4 kids, the main worry that keeps her up: money.
Things for school, education, health, food, everything is so expensive.
Many Americans share the same concerns. Finances, work, and job security are 3 of the top stresses at bedtime, according to a new survey from the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. Dr. Andrew Spector is a sleep medicine physician at Duke.
The oldest group surveyed, which was 65 plus, had the lowest rates of all of the worries. And I think part of that is financial security, less job stress.
We asked a few older folks ourselves.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how well would you say you sleep at night?
10. There's also a rise in those losing sleep over political concerns. 56% of people, up 10% from last year.
Beyond current events, the number 2 thing people worry about is that they themselves are not sleeping well. You will sleep eventually. So the more you stress about it, the worse it gets.
But there are a few things you can do to calm your mind and get better sleep. Exercise can boost your mood and lower your stress, but avoid vigorous activity around bedtime.
If you don't get that rest time after time after time, that's going to accumulate and cause long-term health problems.
Garcia says she finds lack of sleep can affect her memory.
I forget stuff. I constantly have to set up reminders.
To get more rest, Dr. Spector recommends unplugging at least an hour before bed and setting aside time during the day to quite literally worry, to process all the heavy things on your mind so they don't keep you up at night. Karen Waugh, CBS News, Houston.
Got to try some of those tonight. Well, if you find that your worries continue to make it hard to fall asleep or stay asleep, you may want to see a sleep specialist or a therapist who can help out. All right, let's get a check of your weather as some of you get ready to take those kids to school this morning.
Yes, let's do so indeed. Our CBS19 live radar showing some weakening shower and thunderstorm activity, mainly over southern parts of Cherokee County. They are continuing to weaken as we continue into the rest of this morning. Cold front draped right across East Texas will bring in some much drier and slightly cooler conditions. I think we might be a degree or 2 below from where we were yesterday, so that will put us somewhere in the upper 80s for highs today, and we'll see lots of sunshine into this afternoon. Over the next few hours, as those rain showers continue to start to weaken, we'll continue to see some partly cloudy conditions and much drier conditions wearing into the rest of this morning and into this afternoon. We'll be at about 86 degrees by the time we get to 2 o'clock. Rainfall is what we're watching for later this week, however, especially as we go into Sunday. We're watching a cold front combined with moisture from currently Hurricane Lorena right off the Baja Peninsula there. It's going to make a right-hand turn into East Texas, not as a hurricane, not as a tropical storm, but as remnants of Hurricane Lorena. That'll bring us the appropriate moisture to get these showers and thunderstorms to get going on top of that cold front on Sunday. So we could potentially see some excessive rainfall. We're talking potentially seeing at least an inch of rain, maybe even a little bit more in some locations. That's why we do have a weather impact alert in place for Sunday. So that is the number 1 thing that we're going to be watching for in this 7-day. So we will continue to keep you updated throughout the week. In the meantime, should be very comfortable. We'll be up into the upper 80s for today. Maybe a little bit on the hot side for sure as we head into Thursday with mostly sunny skies. We'll be up to about 94 for Thursday, 93 for Friday with increased cloud cover. A cold front moves in for Saturday and Sunday. Here comes that rain for Sunday. Some of that will move into your day on Monday and then drying out for your day on Tuesday with highs maintaining the low to mid 80s.
All right, thank you, Joel. Let's take a break from news and weather to bring you our question of the day. Of course, we're talking about something sweet to drink, or maybe not sweet. Do you drink sweet or unsweet tea? Damien, you said you prefer the sweetness, but you're trying to stay on track.
Gotta cut the calories, you know. You guys know what I'm talking about here. Now, I will say this, something that I prefer over any tea is I'm a big diet soda guy.
Really?
Big. Oh my God.
Not this girl.
Diet root beer.
Oh, really?
Diet brand I'm not going to name because we're doing free advertisements on CBS19. You know, a lot of these diet, or I should say diet lemon lime soda. How about that? Diet lemon lime soda,
I can't do
diet
it.
root beer. Oh, those are my thing.
If I'm gonna have one, and I sip on them for a while, if I have one, it takes me like 2 days to drink a soft drink, I have to have the real deal. But
Really?
yeah, but I would prefer, I don't know, if I'm gonna have a tea, I think I prefer it sweet with a lemon. That wasn't in the question, but I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, okay.
I would agree with that. And, you know, honestly, adding on to the lemon part, right? As I said earlier, I kind of like, I'm not much of a tea drinker, but I do appreciate a nice Arnold Palmer.
So when you're doing that, do you drink the tea that's not sweet so that the lemonade sweetens it? Because that is an option. You can get sweet tea with sweet lemonade.
Whatever's in that, like, whatever's in that can. I forget what it is.
So you know, because
It's
you know
pretty
you can
good.
go to some like
Right.
restaurants and they'll do it for you. I don't know.
That's a lot of
Interesting.
sweet going on.
That is a
Sweet
lot of
lemonade, sweet tea. Oh my goodness.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Let's see what the people are saying this morning. Viola says, I prefer sweet, but she can drink it either way. Ginger says sweet tea with a lemon. Linda's going unsweetened. Sarisa says sweetened. I would say it's kind of like half and half.
Yeah.
Which is surprising. Although Christy said hashtag sweet.
Hashtag. Bringing in that hashtag.
Like I said, I'm surprised that it's 50-50
Me too.
unsweet. Because growing up, like I had never heard anyone drinking unsweet tea. Like it was always sweet.
My dad liked it
Interesting.
unsweetened, and he didn't know why I liked it sweet. But
Yeah.
man, it was good.
Yeah.
The way my grandmother made it, there's nothing better.
Yeah, my mom makes a killer sweet tea, especially like, you know, growing up in the household we did, you know, the foods we typically ate weren't always the healthiest. And I'll tell you like this though, man, that sweet tea was amazing. Amazing.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're having one today, enjoy it. It'll be hotter later in the week. You really might enjoy it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Then.
Yes.
All right, we have to take a quick break to do our on-air cut-ins for CBS Mornings. While it may be news that you've already seen, if you've been watching us here on CBS 19, plus these cut-ins are for our viewers watching on traditional TV as well. We'll be right back. Just stick around with us. Good morning, y'all. I'm Dana Dixon. Thanks for joining us for this morning news update.
They've sent out an alert that told them to prepare to run, hide, fight. I don't know, I'm just scared to death.
Tense moments at UT Health East Texas in Tyler yesterday. A man with a gun prompting lockdowns and an active shooter alarm to go off. And right now, police are still looking for that suspect. The woman you just heard from said her daughter was inside the hospital when she got that alert on her phone. And police say the suspect is described as a black man in his 20s or 30s with facial hair, wearing green scrubs, and that he pulled a gun during an argument in a stairwell at Olympic Plaza. The building went into lockdown and officers cleared every floor. The man, we're told, managed to get away.
State troopers were here. We had different detectives. We had a lot of sheriff's deputies, a lot of state agencies. It was good to see the coordinated response by law enforcement here. And we've trained to work together, and we work together well in this situation.
Tyler police tell us residents should feel safe because they believe this is an isolated incident. If you have any information on who the suspect may be, call police. The trial for Scotty Goebel resumes this morning. Yesterday, jurors heard from Eddie Ramirez's brother and mother. Now, Blanca Ramirez told jurors that Goebel often caused problems at the restaurant, but employees still served him. Eddie's brother, Edgar, testified that Goebel raised his fist while holding a baby carrier, saying, "Come on," as if he wanted to fight. Now, during a police interview, Goebel initially said that the Ramirezes were trying to take his baby during the fight, but he later admitted that he set the baby down in her car seat. A retired Tyler detective also testified that Goebel exaggerated his story. A traffic alert for you this morning if you drive Troop Highway in Tyler. Listen up. Lindbergh Drive between South Park and Troop Highway will be closed starting at 8:30 this morning. Contractors will be out there working on the traffic signal at that intersection, which will make it go dark. And just a reminder to treat this as a four-way stop. Let's get over to Joel now. He's keeping a track of those showers that are hopefully moving out soon.
That's right. Rain will continue to wane. You see what I did there? It's going to be a very nice day into this afternoon, and quite frankly, the rest of this morning should be in pretty good shape. We got a kind of a mix of clouds and sun. We'll be up to 86 degrees by the time we get to 2 o'clock, and our future temperatures here as we go into this afternoon. We'll see highs in the upper 80s, low 90s further to the south, dropping to the middle to upper 60s for your morning tomorrow morning. Up to the 90s we go as we head into Thursday afternoon with plenty of sunshine, dropping back down into the low 70s to start your Friday. And then by Friday afternoon, we'll be making our way back into the upper 80s to low 90s. Here's what your 7-day forecast looks like. So we continue to be dry for the meantime until we get to Sunday. We're watching a decent area of rain to move through. That's why we have a weather impact alert for excessive rainfall. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on this week.
Two stories before you head out the door this morning. A frightening moment right here in Tyler yesterday. An argument at UT Health East Texas Olympic Plaza sparking an active shooter alert, sending staff and patients into lockdown. This happened just after 11 a.m. yesterday. Tyler police say an argument led to a suspect pulling a gun and then moving to the 8th floor. An employee sounded the active shooter alarm, prompting a swift response from law enforcement. The suspect, we're told, is a black man who was in green scrubs, fled possibly on foot or by car. He still remains at large. And a heartbreaking update from Liberty City. A father and his 17-year-old daughter gunned down at a park, and investigators say the shooter was the daughter's boyfriend. The shooter is now in critical condition, and the community is still reeling, and police are stepping up patrols while urging anyone with information to come forward. Let's get over to Joel now. He has a last look at our forecast.
I sure do. Our CBS19 live radar looking a lot more quiet compared to what we saw earlier. Those showers continue to weaken as they move on to the south and east, and we will be left with some much drier conditions for the rest of today. Next few hours shaping up to be partly cloudy, with temperatures inching their way up into the middle to upper 80s by the time we get to the early afternoon, and the late afternoon should feature highs around 89 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Clouds will start to decrease as we head into the later parts of the day. Will be mostly sunny for your day on Thursday as a much drier and hotter air moves into the area. We'll see high temperatures near 94 degrees, 93 for your day on Friday with mostly cloudy skies. We're watching a fall-like cold front to move in by the time we get to Saturday, and especially on Sunday. That will potentially move in some potentially heavy rainfall in some spots. That's why we have a weather impact alert in place for Sunday. So that's something we're going to have to keep on watching. Some of that will linger into your day on Monday and then should be dry on Tuesday.
All righty. Thank you, Joel. Well, we want you to meet Chester now. The now 8-year-old has quite the following on social media, where Maria shows off his chaos. Yeah, well, Sunday, that chaos ended with this toucan falling into the toilet. Oh no. Maria scooped him up, brought him to the sink to clean him up. Chester didn't like that and took off. Oh no. After searching around, she found that the tiniest opening behind her dishwasher. Worried, Maria called the non-emergency line for the fire station. They weren't busy, so they headed her way, got inside, moved that dishwasher, and sure enough, there was Chester. The two were reunited and all is well. Turns out Chester doesn't like a bath so much.
No, I don't think I've met many animals that like baths. You
know?
No. My dog, I tried to give her a bath like a couple weeks ago, and I could only get her head. That was basically it. That was all right. We got to go somewhere else. It just wasn't happening.
They do not enjoy them all. They're always like shaking, getting you wet, and then they run around like crazy people after it's over.
Oh yeah, my cat does not like baths. He will meow like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, I think thank the Lord for the people who can wash animals and are very patient and good at it, because I'm not. You know, I don't know what to do. No, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I'm gonna keep washing them. By that time, she's just drenched, and I gotta figure out how to dry her off. It's not a good time.
It'll happen one day.
Yeah, maybe.
It'll happen.
I'll figure it out. All right, thank you so much for continuing your day here with us on Morning Y'all on CBS 19 Plus. You got to catch the noon show coming up on CBS 19 and CBS 19 Plus. Keep it here for the latest news and weather throughout the day. We hope you have a great and very safe morning out there.